He's probably going to drop it at midnight. After this listening party, it's probably the last listening party. Let me tell you, I have some friends who are like, they didn't drop it.
Hi guys, welcome to the Onyx Family Podcast. We are so happy you could join us. We have Shiloh, Shalom, Mirthell, me, Rita, Sinead, and Shasha. So today we're going to be talking about several topics that is on everybody's mind right now. Donda, the latest album drop by Kanye West. Mm-hmm. We have who should be the new Jeopardy host. Yep. Yeah. We've got what's on your playlist. And that kind of goes back to Donda, right? We want to talk about like how we just finished binging Manifest, and what a ride that was.
I mean, that sounded like a ride.
Yes. Yeah. And guys, we want to also tell you guys a little story at the end that I think you're going to like. So let's get started. Let's talk about Donda. Yeah. Who here has listened to the album?
I've listened to bits and pieces. Like I skip around when I listen to albums. I don't really listen to full things. I just I just pick and choose some songs, especially ones that I see are trending. I'll be like, oh, let me listen to this and stuff. Yeah, that's basically how I listen to albums usually.
I didn't even realize that this album was out. I thought he was supposed to drop it the same day that Drake was dropping his album.
No, the thing is, nobody really knew when it was dropping. Literally, nobody knew when it was dropping. It kind of just dropped suddenly on like this past Sunday, but it was supposed to drop last year, right? What? It was supposed to drop last year, and then he didn't drop it. Then he was supposed to drop it this year sometime in July, and then that didn't happen either. He had 3 listening parties, and after each listening party, everybody thought he was going to drop it. Even after the one last week, they were like, he's probably going to drop it at midnight. After this listening party, it's probably the last listening party. Let me tell you, I have some friends who are like, they didn't drop it.
He just keeps you guessing in everything in life, in everything.
Well, I like that he does listening parties, but this latest one that was a little bit interesting. Kim Kardashian came out in her wedding gown. He had the baby and Marilyn Manson on there with him.
He set himself on fire.
He's provocative.
He made a replica of his childhood house, the exact dimensions, exact look, and he made it burn.
Yeah, within a minute.
Yeah,
that
was crazy.
Is that subliminal?
I always feel like artists really think on a whole nother level, because that was a whole nother level of symbolism.
Wait, so Sinead, would you get one of our old houses and burn it for your listening party?
I was thinking that too.
Yeah,
if you guys were going to get a childhood house, which one would you guys?
I would do 71 house.
The blue house.
I was going to say that. I wouldn't say the blue house. I liked our blue house, but the thing is, I would say the Victorian house that we used to live in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one. Well, I don't know if it was cursed. I don't think it was cursed. But I feel like it gives the feel of if it burned, it would look good. I don't know.
It had some pretty paranormal stuff in there. So.
Oh man.
I don't think that house had anything paranormal going on.
Some spirits. I mean.
Wow.
What are you talking about?
Guys,
elaborate. I don't want people thinking we lived in some haunted house.
No,
it was a haunted house.
A little backstory, guys. The reason why we're saying that the Victorian house is haunted is because there was bats in there. So that's why we have to get out.
Yeah.
Oh, the bats.
Bats. We found stuff in the attic.
Yeah, we'll have to tell that story another day.
Yeah.
That is an interesting story. The bat story.
Yeah.
But Kanye, I think that Kanye is one of the most memorable lyricists, rappers that there is ever. He's just very memorable. Not every rapper is a lyricist. Like some rappers are just like...
Well, they repeat the same things over and over with no
but,
message.
Yeah, he always has a message.
Yeah.
I mean, he snapped with Jesus Walks. That was a great song.
Yeah, he has a lot of interesting.
And Gold Digger. Gold Digger was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So do you think he's going to have like any of those? Like which song on his Donda do you think is going to be that hit that people remember? Like Jesus Walks or Gold Digger?
Right now I'm hearing everybody's liking Jail, and I heard some of Jail, and Jail sounded really good. And
what's it about?
What's it about?
Being in jail?
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's about him being in jail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're really close to the album.
No, I have no idea. I have really no idea about this album.
But I also heard Jesus Lord is really interesting. So that's an interesting one that people really like. So, there's probably a lot of songs. I think
there's like 27. Yeah, you really have to take the time to listen to it because there's literally like 27 songs there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so you have to take the time out of your day to really listen.
Wow. So do you think... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying that I heard that he rented out a side room in the
The Benz Stadium?
Mercedes-Benz.
The Mercedes-Benz Stadium while he was writing
In
the
Atlanta.
song. And, and I heard it was super like, what was it? It was like a big high rate each night, but I feel like he was really channeling his artistry. I don't know.
His inner
it was
Kanye.
such a weird, it wasn't even like it was writing in his house, a stadium. That was really
one
weird.
thing I find about artists is that this is what I've seen is that they like to put themselves in an environment that's not too luxurious, something that will bring out the creativity. Like there's some people who do, they record their album in their home, but there are other people who they go to another place. So they might fly to Scotland or they go to Wyoming or they go to somewhere else where it's not familiar and they're able to, I think, free them from whatever constraints that you feel when you're at home. You know, the bills, the people around you, the environment. I just think it's really important. I think they go somewhere that changes the whole environment.
He's looking for inspiration.
Yeah.
You know, the idea, or I don't know if he was just doing this for publicity, but he was going to drop it the same time as
Drake.
Do you think that him dropping it like 6 days or a week before Drake will be better for him? Do you think he should have done it after? Do you think it's going to affect Drake's sales? Like, what do you think?
I think it's always all good. I think it's going to be good publicity.
For both
That's
of them,
what it all is.
Yeah, it's all publicity.
Like publicity is what sells things.
Right.
You know, if he dropped it and nobody knew and nobody really cared, I think that it wouldn't, not only would it not sell well, I feel like that's not what the vision. I think he wanted everybody to be on board. Like every artist wants everyone to buy their record, but this one, it seems like it was very personal for him.
Yeah, I heard
So
that
it means
he
a
was
lot.
asking to get it remixed several times and stuff. Like that's why it was getting delayed. Like he wanted it to be redone, have changes made and everything because he really wanted it to be perfect.
Yeah, he is a perfectionist. But what I found funny was the people who were left off.
What do you mean?
Well, Soulja Boy did a verse. His was left off.
Oh.
Chris Brown, I think, did a verse. His was left off.
Oh.
They're saying that Jay-Z's verse was left off.
Oh.
Why did he do that?
I don't know. And I feel like, man, if this is like an album, some people say this is not just the album of the year. This is the album of a lifetime. If you had a verse on the album of a lifetime, wouldn't you be really upset if yours was left off?
Ooh.
Yikes.
Wow.
He said his perfectionist mindset. Nah, this ain't good enough.
Well, then if my verse made it, I'd be like, yeah,
I know.
I'm perfect.
Yo,
All right.
I'm
my
perfect.
verse made it, y'all.
Man. But I like the fact that he actually did do this album in a way that tells an actual story, a narrative.
Yeah.
And I think it was a quote I saw from Beyonce actually pretty recently. I don't know when she said this, but there was to just put it into context. What she was saying was that too many people now just release songs and they think, oh, well, this song hit.
Right,
and they're
right.
not being creative and telling a story. Like I think of her story with Lemonade, that album. You know, like that was a narrative.
Right.
And then the other one too. This is her joint one with Jay-Z.
Right. I can't remember what that one was.
I can't remember what it was called.
But
Bonnie
yeah.
and Clyde or something like that?
No, that was a song. But
okay.
But definitely artists these days, I think there's two types. There's ones that's just about let's just get as much money as we can. Let's just put out what they think will be a banger. Or there's other ones who are more about the art. And I think that's in everything, guys. Even for us, like what we do here, especially like on social media, you know, the ones who are just like, what's the latest trend? We're just going to make money. And then those who are like, what about the art of it?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's always usually about money or art. Because a lot of times you don't get both. But the rare times that you get both, like I think Kanye does.
Right.
He has both.
Right.
He gets the money and he gets to do his art. But I think if we all spent more time really cultivating that art and whatever you're doing, whether it's music or whether it's videos or painting or whatever it is, I think that you'll be a lot happier in life and you'll probably end up getting more money in the long run because people would appreciate it more. What do y'all think?
I agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta make sure that you're in your passion and you gotta make sure that you're putting yourself into whatever you're doing. You can't just be copying.
Right.
He's definitely a unique individual.
He is.
So how many of you have his songs or is going to have his songs on your playlist?
The Donda?
Yeah, like which one of his songs are you going to put on your
I
playlist?
gotta listen to it again fully before I say it because
Yeah,
there's a lot of songs
same.
there. And I gotta really So I have to listen to something several times before I'm like, okay, now I'm going to add to my playlist. I got to get the vibe for it. You know
Do you guys have him on your playlist at any of his songs? Like even his old stuff?
Yeah.
So we should share like our playlist. Like what's your favorite playlist? Like who's the artist on your favorite playlist right now that you guys are playing?
Well, I'll go first. I don't really have a playlist, no an artist I actually like. I just listen to random songs that like probably like trend or just come up. So yeah.
Oh man, so you don't listen for like the art of it, you know what I'm saying?
Not really. I listen for the beat probably.
Like you don't have like a homework playlist, so you listen for homework.
Well, yeah, but those are mostly just instrumental. So
Instrumentals. So like game instrumentals or like...
I mean, not really game instrumentals, just like probably like beats, hip hop, all that stuff.
Oh, okay. Just like random instrumentals.
Not random, just hip hop or maybe anime. I mean, I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
On my playlist, I don't really listen to a lot of music either. But when I go to work out, I like to listen to a lot of gospel songs. So some of the people on my playlist is Wande.
Yes, Monday.
I love Wande, Lecrae, Erica Campbell, and some of the Mary Mary's older songs as well. Anthony Brown and Group Therapy and Walls Group. Like these are some of the people that I
Listen, I Love God by Erica Campbell was the best. Okay.
Oh yeah, that trap song. That was good.
But I mean, let's be real. Like your playlist is our playlist. You kind of we all listen to basically the same stuff.
The same thing.
And it's so funny because you guys always tell me, Mom, your playlist is like 6 years old. And that's because I literally, okay, guys, I would have never, ever, ever thought that I'd be at an age where I just didn't care about making playlists, about listening to the latest song. Like I literally don't care. So unless you guys kind of introduce it to me, I'm just like, I'm sticking with whatever.
All right. One day that the best Christian rapper right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I love One Day. I love.
All right, then what was on your Walkman? When you were younger.
First of all, okay, I had a Discman. Okay.
Oh, it still has the word man in it.
And then I had a Discman. All right.
Don't get me and Mommy started about our 90s
Our
playlist.
90s. Now, if you want to talk about 90s, I had everybody. But I feel like it was easier back then, too, because I would be like driving to school and stuff, and I'd have the radio on. So they constantly would introduce you to the songs. Right. Like you had to listen or turn the radio off, and who's going to turn it off? Now it's like you got to really do like what Kanye did. You got to make it an event that people say, "Oh, I want to go and listen to."
That is so true.
No, but I'm curious. What do you guys have on your lists? What
Man, okay, so regular hip hop for my workout, but. What I love to do sometimes, I love listening to Broadway albums.
Broadway albums?
Okay, so
Broadway.
this is new. Hear me out.
Okay.
Listen, it helps me. So I like writing and stuff. So it helps me develop a storyline. So I was listening to this musical called Company and like this song called Not Getting Married. And it was just like this. It was just telling a story of like a woman that didn't want to get married all the way up until going to the aisle. And it was just so really funny. It was like a really comedic song. You should look it up.
Oh, really?
And
I gotta check that out.
Huge people like Julie, what was her name again? That did Sound of Music?
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews, she did a cover of it. It's just really a comedic song. Wow. It's just,
oh my goodness.
Really
Shasha, this is very surprising.
Right.
If you can see on all of our faces,
like,
none of us knew.
But I love that about you. I mean, when you like watch Hamilton, like I always tell like some sort of story. Like there's never a time where they're not singing. They're always singing and it always like acting through. You didn't like Hamilton? I love Hamilton, especially like the sister songs. What is it called? The sisters.
The sisters.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, but like you have to actually watch the musical to actually embrace yourself in the album. Shasha, I like it, and I barely listen to music at all. I watched the entire.
Well,
Hamilton.
I made him.
Okay. Well,
I said, no, I'm glad you liked it, but I'm just saying, Shiloh's not necessarily a Broadway person.
I take it back.
No, it's good that you liked it, but what I'm just saying is that people will go, "Oh, Shiloh's into Broadway." I'm like, well, I mean, I made him, but I knew he would like it because if we're telling, like you said, he's telling the story, and I wanted him to learn about Hamilton.
But yeah, and it was like really cool because it was like history mixed with hip hop, and I thought that was really creative.
Shalom, what's on your playlist?
My playlist.
Yeah.
It's on your playlist.
I asked first.
Okay, fine. Well, like Dad, I like a lot of gospel music, so I listen to a lot of that. I actually introduced you to like most of them.
Yeah.
So I like Mandisa. I like the Walls Group.
True.
Yeah, I listen to that. I also like to listen to a lot of like alternative, and I like a lot of
There's like sad songs, like the piano songs.
Yeah, you
like
like sad songs.
90s
Yeah, I do.
That make you cry.
Yeah, that's true. I like to make myself cry. So like a lot of songs like that. So yeah,
But who specifically? Do you have any people or no?
Well, it's kind of random, to be honest. I don't like
so
listen
just,
to like.
You explore.
Yeah, I like to explore. I think that's you would call me. I like to explore. What about you?
For me, it's kind of ironic. Like, I make music, but I don't listen to that much music. But I think for me, that kind of helps me to keep my sound different from others, or else I'll find myself like copying their style, their flow, their
a good point.
beat, and everything like that. But when I do listen to music, I again, it's like you. I have like a range. I'll be like, listen to, one day I'll be into more pop, one day I'll be into more rock, one day I'll be into more
You
hip-hop.
hate pop.
No, it depends on the pop. It has to be like, I don't know, like lately, like I like Olivia Rodrigo's pop album. Like that kind of thing, right?
Right. I think that's good, Sinead, that you said that though about, I think everybody that I've read about that creates, what they do is they go on a run of like, let's say you're an author, you go on a run of reading.
Yeah.
But then when you're actually writing, they don't read it.
Right.
They don't
Right.
read because then they don't want to be influenced by that person.
That makes
But
sense.
I can't see any art where you don't look at everybody else and the way the audience or the fans
Yeah.
are responding to that, because it kind of lets you know how the tastes are evolving.
Right,
Remember
right.
when we started off, guys? Remember how we started off on YouTube every morning? Remember how we would watch like certain channels?
Right,
And
yes,
we would see
yes.
like, okay, what's happening?
What's
What's
going
everyone
on?
doing?
Right.
And even now, like I know for my age, I know far too much about this YouTube community that I should only because I have to stay connected
Yeah.
to what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Jeopardy? Them coming up with a new host. I mean,
What is-
they found someone and he was a disaster. So-
You said well read. What is that?
Well, because you have to be well read to be a contestant on Jeopardy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay.
You got to know.
You gotta know a lot of
about
things.
Everything.
You have to be knowledgeable.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wait, I forgot. What is Jeopardy about again?
Jeopardy.
The game show where it's like something for 200 and you say what is and you answer like that.
You have to answer in the form of a question. We've played that in our house.
Yeah,
before.
remember
Yeah,
when we
they have different categories from like different type of
And
subjects.
remember you seen the SNL skits where Keenan is the host?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shasha, it's like this: people who are fast for 200, or
Oh, like you'd answer, what is Usain Bolt?
yes.
Or who is?
What is?
What is he
Yeah,
saying?
no, yeah, who is-
But
who's
who is
saying-
Usain Bolt?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
the fastest man.
You would say that, and it'd be like, who is the fastest man on the planet alive? And then you say Usain Bolt.
Right. So, who do you guys think would be good? I mean, a lot of people are saying LeVar Burton. You know, the guy from Reading Rainbow. I don't know. Like Reading Rainbow, isn't Reading Rainbow like a kid's?
That
Yeah,
show is
so.
like over like 20, 30 years old. I don't think
It
our
is.
audience is going to remember that. But he was on Star Trek.
Maybe
That's
that's
how
what.
I remember him as LaForge.
I remember him.
Maybe
reading
that's why they
Rainbow.
didn't choose him because
It would be too campy, like
Yeah.
maybe Star Trek.
Yeah. And they
Right.
probably want someone a little edgier or someone like who has an older audience. You know?
I feel like he has it. I don't even feel, in my opinion, I don't necessarily feel like people, the Star Trek fandom, which I'm a part of proudly, would be like, oh my goodness, I gotta watch it because of just him. I think he appeals to like so many people.
Wait, so would you want him to be it?
Yeah, I would love it.
Oh.
That
wouldn't mind
doesn't
him.
mean that I would watch it every week still.
I want Keenan.
But I would-
That's
I
my
love
choice. My choice is Keenan. I think it should be someone funny because the show is too like I don't know.
Too stiff?
It's too stiff. I want
It's
someone
too
that's gonna make us
cerebral,
laugh.
huh? Too
Yeah, 'cause the
cerebral.
thing is, Steve Harvey made Family Feud.
Yeah, it was
That's
really
true.
did.
That's true.
Yeah.
He brought
Because
some
it was
life
funny.
to it.
Yeah, I
He
can't
brought some
imagine
cat
them
comedy.
like trying to do something different at Jeopardy. It's been well established for years. And so if it's a little bit more for the older audience, I feel like they should just keep it for the older audience because
Nah,
that.
that
They can make more money
generation.
and-
That
and-
generation is.
If they bring in more
Yeah.
audience, you know what I mean?
This is the perfect time to make a change because it was great with Alex Trebek. It was like classic. We grew up on him, and I think that was that era. That would be like the Tonight shows continuing the same style. Well, actually,
Yeah.
they pretty much do.
Two things.
No, because I think Jimmy Fallon has kind of changed it. Like when he came in, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Two things. One, how is Jeopardy so popular? Like,
It's been around forever.
yeah, but like, I haven't heard any news about Jeopardy, and people are just talking about it in 2021.
No, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's why they
Your
need
generation
to
doesn't-
change that. So
No.
people are talking about it.
No person who was born in 2000 and older have watched Jeopardy barely. Shasha,
And that's probably true.
Have you watched
but
it?
That's the shit. That's why they need to change it.
I would like Kevin Hart to be the host.
I think Kevin Hart
would be so funny.
Too.
I don't know, whatever that man is in, I laugh so
Facts.
hard. He's like my favorite.
another thing.
Comedian. I honestly think they need to go with a comedian.
Yes, they need to go to the comedian.
Another thing. Is there like an OG Jeopardy person?
Yes,
like
Alex Trebek.
Who's that? Like,
He just passed away recently.
oh.
Well, that you're a perfect example why they absolutely need
Exactly.
Yeah.
to change
You don't
the game.
even know. You don't even know the main person who was hosting it. That's why they need to change the game.
Yeah.
I would love Billy Ray Cyrus to be the host.
What?
Really?
That's an
Why?
interesting choice.
Okay.
Wait, what? Why? I want to know why.
Well, first off, he appeals to each generation's your generation and my generation. Hannah Montana, country music star.
Doesn't appeal to me. But
She randomly said it appeals to us. So
I was like,
And it can get a little bit, a little bit exciting.
country?
Yeah, it's country,
a little
southern.
bit rock and roll.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be different.
no, I like Billy Ray Cyrus for country music, but I'm not quite sure if that crossover would work. That's why I feel a comedian, like someone even someone that has, I don't know, like Lisa Kudrow or something, like someone that's just a little snarky, like, I don't know. You have to have a little bit of personality to
Phoebe.
fill that role.
For this generation. Because I feel like that Alex
Right.
Trebek was good for the generation that he had before. Because that's what everybody needed. That's what everybody wanted. But these days, everybody wants someone snarky and
Right.
like,
I don't want someone snarky.
or not snarky, but like, I don't know if that's the word. But
Right.
Maybe not the right word. but-
quick-witted.
You know who would be good too? I think James Corden. I think
I think
Yes.
he's really good.
Yes.
I think he would be funny and charming, and I just think it would be good.
Wait, did y'all
I
see
agree.
the video on Twitter where they're basically promoting the Cinderella movie? And like, remember, do you know how like every time they promote something, they would get out of their car and stop traffic?
Broadway crosswalk.
Basically, he was like dressing up as like one of the characters. I think it was a mouse or something.
Yeah.
And then like basically he got like the whole cast of the Cinderella, and they're basically stopping traffic and just dancing and just holding up
I
traffic.
think he's super funny. I know
he
he gets
is.
a lot of slack, but I don't know why. I actually really enjoy him.
He's relatable.
I think he's relatable. I think he's funny. I think he's charming. But what about some females? Like Daddy was saying. So we have Lisa Kudrow. Anybody else?
Who else?
like a comedian. I feel like a comedian.
Aquafina.
Aquafina?
No.
That's
Not too much though. That's the thing. You don't want their personality to be too much. Like for instance, I really like Wanda Sykes. I think she's an amazing stand-up comedian, but her personality I feel is very strong. So not someone that's too. You cannot appreciate the show because they're so funny that it overshadows the show.
So funny.
They're so funny that they overshadow the show. Their personality is big.
like-
So I'm thinking.
they're more funny than the actual show, basically.
What about? I'm just saying the first one that comes to my head. Issa Rae.
She's too busy with the film and television.
she's like a TV star. Like
Yeah.
that's her lane. I'm
Okay.
not sure, but definitely a female.
You know what? Yvonne Orji.
Yvonne Orji.
I love
she would be
that.
good.
Everything
I think
she
she could
does,
do it.
I laugh with too.
Yes,
like
that's
I
nice.
love her.
Yvonne Orji, I
love
would
her.
definitely see
You guys
her
got to
do that.
read her book, Bamboozled
No,
by
no,
Jesus.
no.
Little plug. I love that book.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Dad.
Very good.
Okay, Shiloh suggests himself.
You didn't even know about the.
You don't even know the show.
actual-
No.
You didn't know
You
anything
take
about
it.
No. Actually, I know the concept of Jeopardy. Jeopardy. Shasha didn't know. I knew. I just didn't know the host.
Oh, okay.
That is
That's
like
true.
literally the host makes the show.
No, I'm a little
So-
scared that for your generation to host it. Like, I want someone
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
'cause you guys
yeah.
would like change up and like, why do we have to ask a question? Why do we have to ask a question? Like, let's just answer it. And then the whole game show would be like,
Yeah.
That's fact.
the whole game show would be in
Like,
Jeopardy.
it's total-
It would be in Jeopardy.
Yeah, it would be totally turned upside down.
Facts.
I do think though that TV is really evolving. I don't even understand how some of these game shows are actually on because people aren't watching the same way. For example, you and we just finished binging Manifest.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And Manifest was on NBC, but it's not like you and I watched it while it was on.
No.
We tried like one episode, but I'm the type of person now. I like binging. So if I want to see the whole season and that whole week, that's what I want to do. So that's what we did. And
we got hooked.
And it was just like, we were hooked, guys. We were hooked.
So
I just want everyone to know that I watched it like 2-3 years ago.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
Not the whole thing, when it was airing.
Oh, okay.
So what are you declaring? You watched a couple episodes?
Yeah, because I just wanted to be first.
But the premise of the show is that there is an airplane and it's 828. And well, I don't know how to. I don't want to go into it, but
It basically
ultimately
disappears for 5.5 years and then reappears,
Right.
as if nobody has aged or anything.
Also
on the planet.
spoilers.
And everybody else that when they came back 5 years later, everybody else had obviously aged
on
up
in
and
life,
moved on in
yeah.
life. And so that creates a lot of drama. And the flight 828 is symbolic of Romans chapter 8, verses 28, which is all things work together for good. Now they left off to them that love the Lord, which, that's the punchline of that text.
Right.
But all things work together for good. And so the whole thing is like showing how even though there's a problem here and it's problematic them coming back 5 years later, everything seems to be interconnected. Everything seems to be working out for the betterment of whatever the situation is.
Yeah, they have to work together as a team to basically solve these mysteries. Like there's little mysteries and there's not just mysteries, but things that need to be resolved in people's lives. But then on top of it, there's the overall arching mystery. What happened? Right. And it gets very interesting. It's like we said, we're not going to spoil it for you guys, but it's really, really amazing. So basically, guys, I'm just saying that the state of TV is so different.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I tend to not really enjoy a lot of shows, and I get it. Even this show. At some given point in time, I just had to take a break.
Yeah.
Like the binging, it was like back to back to back, and this is how it started looking to me. Like
Mirthell, before you even start, please do not. Don't even go there, because I want people to check it out for themselves, and I think people should just understand that you never hang in any movie or any show. So you can't take
I
what
usually
he says.
fall asleep. So take it with a grain of salt. What I'm about to say.
But hun, how will I
always
ever
nap
get star
time for
on there
him.
if you start insulting it? Please.
No. I'm not insulting it at all. I'm just saying that what ends up happening when I watch shows like this, it's not even necessarily this. When I watch shows, they're really into the cinematic music. It'll be like dum 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 dum, and it's like action, and then afterwards it resolves, and then it's just like
Isn't that every show? Yeah,
It's so
no,
cliche.
but then it just keeps on going back and forth like that.
It's cliche.
That's every show.
No.
I start like, okay, now they're gonna hug. Okay, now it's gonna be dum.
Because
Now they're gonna hug.
I can get dad.
every show.
I can get dad. It's cliche.
It just,
No, but that's every show movie.
No,
With
it
the
isn't.
Action and then a resolving.
No.
that's the problem with binging. The problem with binging is that if you eat it in bite sizes, then you can take that because it's like, ooh, my heart races, and then it
So I
went
think
down.
he's more criticizing binging because
yes, it's
binging, then you start to be like, oh, this is the
You
same
start
thing.
seeing the patterns, and you're just like,
And your body gets used to it when you're binging it at the same time.
That's
I guess-
why you always have to see a show like when it airs, like one episode
Right.
one day.
No,
an
I
episode
like
another day.
binging.
No.
I like binging.
I know. You're just defending your favorite show right now. Just.
No, I like binging
I'm not-
everything.
I'm not offending it for being canceled or anything. for being.
But it got renewed for a new
renewed.
season.
Thank you very
okay?
much.
It got renewed because Netflix saw it. They're gonna milk it for like another season, and that's it. I mean,
the guy did want it to be 6 seasons, and he only got 4.
It's gonna be 6 seasons, Shiloh.
Oh, it's actually before.
It's actually 4.
It's gonna
so
be
he's
4.
gonna have to take the last 3 seasons, and he's gonna have to like merge
And
it
he's
all.
gonna-
You know, all the
Merge
action
it.
is going to be times
He's
3.
gonna- No, yeah. Times 3. He's gonna merge all of it. It might look rushed and everything. Kind of
I
like
wonder how it's gonna end. It's gonna end. Or is it
it's
gonna go,
kind of like Timeless, where it got
Why do you have to bring up Timeless?
No.
I'm still very salty about
Listen.
Timeless being canceled.
What happened to
Timeless-
Timeless? What happened to Timeless?
Timeless would have worked better if it had like a little bit more seasons, but instead it got canceled and all merged into one movie.
Yeah.
And now
Oh.
it ended on a finale, which it kind of got watered down, and now people weren't happy with it, and now there's another
Yes.
fan base being ruined. So now,
Well,
man.
I think with Timeless, which, like I said, I'm still salty about that whole thing being canceled. I don't even feel like it was as edgy as Manifest. I think it needed to be a little bit edgier.
It did need to be a little edgy.
know?
yeah, because it looked really like kind of like
It was very PC.
for like young adults. Like
Manifest is edgy.
Yeah.
It's edgy.
yeah,
It
because
has some things.
when
It
I
got
came
some
in
things
there,
that's like
spoilers.
no,
Don't give any spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Why not?
No spoilers.
Oh, I know what he's gonna say. That's not a spoiler. Go
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead.
Okay, but when I came in, like I was very weirded out because I went in the theater and I saw like someone burning, and I was like, wait,
No,
what?
it was something behind the person. The person was not burning.
Well, like, and then they started chanting something, so I was like, what the?
Yeah, well, she was crazy. That's all we're gonna say about that.
Started chanting something.
It's really, really good, but I wish Timeless got the chance that this show got, because I think there was
It
a
has so
lot
much
more
potential.
storytelling. One thing I really want to say though about Manifest too is that it is an extremely diverse cast.
I really appreciated that.
Yes.
I know. I don't know why I said that. It is an extremely diverse cast. No, seriously, like you see people of all
Walks of life.
ethnicities. They have had people who are physically challenged or disabled. They've had everything. And like I was really impressed when there was a lawyer. She was in a wheelchair and she was defending her client. And you just don't see that a lot.
Right. It's true.
Not only do you not see that on TV, you actually don't see that a lot in real life either. So I like the fact that maybe that lady's role was able to inspire other people to get into acting or even get into law, either one, because she was representing a lawyer. And I just was really impressed by the whole casting of the show.
Well, they're breaking a lot of norms. Like, for instance, they have 2 main actors now on the show that are East Indian descent.
Yeah.
Usually it's like, we got an East Indian, we don't need any
Right.
more. And it's just like, wow, you got these 2 main actors of East Indian descent. It's like, whoa. And then same thing, you see Asians on there. You see,
Black people
on there, everybody of every walks of life. And it's just like, wow, they're really being intentional about making sure of representation.
Right. And what I also liked was that, like I just mentioned, it wasn't just the able-bodied. It was also people who are disabled. So it just shows like we said, we had people who were skinny, people who were big, people who were straight, gay, everything. Right. Everything was represented on this show. So
at the end of the day, I really like Manifest because it tells a story that is not commonly told in Hollywood. It's given another perspective, and I really appreciate that. And we're all about telling stories. Our motto is to, tell the story, feed the soul, make them laugh, heal the heart. So
And I was going to tell a story. I know you asked me earlier to tell this other story, but because we mentioned the bats, I think that story would be better to tell this time. And I think Sinead.
Yeah, Sinead, you should tell the...
We can fill in the gaps because, know.
Right.
Well, wait,
Feel free to jump in.
Well, we're
what
telling...
was the original story, though, that you were going to say?
Well, I'll say that in another podcast.
Okay, but don't forget it, though.
No, we already know.
No, we already
but
know.
we want to tell this story because you did bring up the house that was haunted. So I think we need to clarify, what was wrong with this house. So Sinead is going to tell the story and we'll help her out if she, forgets some details.
Jump in whenever you come in the story. You know what I mean? Like, tell your side.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so it was sometime in the summer. It was like July of 20-something. And we were in this Victorian house. It had about 3 stories and a basement. It was older. So it had some, some cracks, crevices, where things could get in.
We leased it. Yeah.
We leased it. Yeah.
It was actually a 4-story house.
It was a what?
4 stories.
It's true.
It was 4 stories.
1?
It was 1.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The basement.
2,
3,
basement.
4. Yeah.
4 stories.
And the reason
story,
why it was that way because it was an adoption house.
What?
Well,
No, it was a Victorian house, but the people prior to us going there, they used it as a foster home.
A foster home.
Yeah.
So basically, it was an old house. And I was going to sleep one night and I was next to a room. So I had a room that was next to like an outside
Like
door.
a back porch.
Like a back porch,
Yeah.
basically. So those ones are typically, they're not as sealed. So I was next to that room and our dogs also stayed in that room as well. So I was going to sleep one night. I was just chilling. I was laying on my back, looking up at the ceiling, and I heard the dogs start barking. And they were barking like crazy.
And I want to say, this is before we had our current dog, Shug.
Yes.
Yeah,
This was our
Shady and Shadow.
Our
They were
2
some
black
big
golden
black
doodles.
golden doodles.
And they were, guys, when we bought, sidebar here, when we bought those dogs, we were supposed to train them. And I was like, why would we have to send them to a trainer? We can do it. No, we can't. No, we couldn't.
That's
They
a
were-
story for another day, but
They were basically almost feral. We love them, but
So these dogs, they start barking like crazy. And I was like, whoa, why are they barking like crazy? A couple seconds later, I see something black just fluttering inside my room. And not just one, I think there was like 2 things fluttering inside my room. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is that a bat? I immediately screamed bat. Rolled. I don't even know how my mind actually processed that. Like in 2 seconds, I rolled out of my bed, military style, like I was in a burrito, right? I start military crawling out my door because I don't want to stand, right? I'm like, it'll just bite my neck if I stand. So I need to crawl. I crawl to Shalom's room, who's next to mine. I'm like, yo, Shalom, there's a bat in my room. She's like, what? And she's like, well, I don't want to stay here because it's going to fly into my room next. I didn't think to close my door, so I don't know why I didn't do that.
Yeah,
so
you just left the door open.
I just left the door open. So we end up running. Well, we're screaming bat, and we're all running upstairs to our parents' room, who's on the top floor of the house. Shasha runs up with us. She somehow wakes up because she hears us screaming. Shiloh's not awake yet. Shiloh is
true. He's
fully
That's
sleeping.
true.
I am tuned
Fully
out.
sleeping.
I am tuned out.
So basically, Rita was just like, we got to get Shiloh.
Yeah,
we
can't
have
go
to
down
rescue
with the
him. so
Who rescued him? Who went?
we both went down. We both went down
Joe
in there.
woke me up.
Because
I just remember I was on my bed sleeping. I looked to my right. The door was right there. And he was like, Shiloh. No, he was like, Shiloh, there's a bat. You have to come right now.
yeah,
I was
we
like,
grabbed.
Yeah. First
we
of all,
gra-
it wasn't that calm.
Yeah, it was wild.
Get up.
Well, yes. Yeah, you told me
So
that.
we get Shiloh, right? We get Shiloh, and Mummy races Shiloh upstairs with the girls, and all of a sudden they slam the door shut, and they slam me out, so I can't get back upstairs.
Yeah, because we're like,
And
We
they're-
wanted him to deal with it.
They wanted me to deal with the bat. Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, I can deal with the bat, but I need equipment here. Like I don't know if these bats have rabies. Like I'm not trying to fight these bats on my own. I'm trying to open the door. They got the full force of Onyx Family, 5 against 1, shutting the door. Dad, get it! Dad, get it! Hon, you have to get it. You have to get. I'm like,
Wait, is that how I sounded?
why'd you go deeper?
Why'd you go?
Hon, you gotta go get it.
bats are flying everywhere. I don't know if I'm gonna get bit. Eventually, my family has compassion on me and says, "Okay, Dad." So I go upstairs and I have this big winter coat. Like it's
Which
a
I'm
winter
still
coat.
okay. I'm salty about that too. Where did it go?
I don't know where it is.
I don't know what happened
This
to that
winter
coat.
This winter coat, I fought bees off of.
Yes.
Swarms of bees.
We would actually wrap all 3 of us in the one coat just to go
Right.
by the
It was the best winter coat I've ever seen.
It was almost like it was armor. It was not just
Yeah.
a winter coat. It was armor. It was armor to fight things.
It was huge.
It was huge.
I don't even know what size that was.
That was my dad's winter coat. I think he bought it like way back when he first came from Jamaica. to
And he
Canada.
said, I'm in Canada. I'm going to.
Yeah. He fought off the winter.
He thought he was going to the Arctic.
But literally, like, I've never seen a coat that huge before. Like,
Where is it now, though?
I don't know. It just
We
disappeared.
moved. I think I don't know. We moved. One of our moves, it just was gone.
Yeah. But we had it all the way up until the Blue House in New York. So I remember that because that's where I fought off the bees. Yeah. Anyhow, so I had to go get my armor coat. So I went upstairs, got my coat, wrapped myself up, got gloves on to make sure that nothing could bite me. It was so thick. And then I went after it, but I couldn't find it. It's like it was missing. I literally went everywhere. I went through the house, went everywhere. I could not find it. So they
Meanwhile.
eventually let me back into the room.
Yes.
So we're sitting in the room talking.
And we just said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to spend the night on the 4th floor, not knowing.
No,
No, wait, hold on.
okay.
Yeah,
No, wait,
we
no.
say we're going to
Wait.
spend the night on the 4th floor.
No.
On the
Yes.
fourth floor.
We spent the night on the first floor.
No,
Sorry. So
we said we were going to spend the night on the 4th floor.
all of us, because that was our.
We said we're going to be safe together,
And
guys.
it was big. So we had.
And we were like, okay, the bat is downstairs, so we just don't need to worry about it. We also decided to call it pest control or animal control because we were like, okay,
Yeah.
they can handle it. They can come tonight, right? They said they couldn't
Yeah.
come tonight. They were like, okay, we can come in the morning and stuff. But
Right.
we're,
But they were giving us instructions
Right.
on how to deal with it because they said it could have rabies, so make sure that you don't approach it. You know, we'll be there in the morning, all that kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
They threw a little
threw
surprise
a
at us.
bombshell. They were like, they told us.
Oh yeah. Also, they like to go to the highest point in the house.
highest point in the house.
So don't worry, they're navigating their way to the highest point, so you guys don't have to worry. We're like, wait a second.
I feel like right after they said it.
No, right after, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah,
No,
it was like, we
we're
are
on
the
phone.
highest point.
Were we on the phone?
We all looked at each
Yeah.
other like,
What?
It's like they're on the phone, like, and they reach the highest point on the thing. Rita's like, guys, they just said that they reached the highest point. We all looked at each other like, we are at the highest point.
And then
All of a sudden,
the bats come
Bats
flying
come
out of a
coming out.
closet.
No,
Out of
we
a
saw.
closet.
Yeah, we saw. I saw this little head.
Yes, I
come
remember
out
seeing
of the closet. I can still picture it now. And I just freaked out. I started screaming, and we all started running downstairs.
Guys, this is not.
We're pushing.
We are not fictionalizing this. This is actually
This is a
dead.
real event.
You wouldn't even believe it. The timing of everything. I am so serious.
It was unreal.
There's actually
everybody's running, okay, pushing each other out of the way. Like there is no love here in the Onyx family.
No, there was no love in that
every
moment.
man for themselves.
Yes.
Every man and woman for themselves.
what was I doing?
We were dragging you along.
Shasha had snacks. She was trying to save her snacks. Trying to save her snacks and come down with her snacks.
That's true.
She did. She brought her food.
Shasha brought up her snacks. So,
Oh my goodness.
so we all headed down to the basement now. We felt pretty safe that the bats were not going to go down. So.
Yeah, we were like, okay, so now we're good on the first floor. You know, we stayed up the whole night playing.
I watched
some Triopoli or Monopoly.
I binge watched the entirety of Gilligan's Island on that.
So the next day, the guy came and he captured the bat. And then they told us that if the bats smell other bats,
The trail.
and they smell the trail of where the other bats go. So more than likely there's going
You're
to
gonna
be
see another
another
one.
bat.
Okay,
and
so-
we're like, oh no.
Right.
Oh no.
Especially me, because they came into my room. So, first of all, I slept in Shalom's room for a good week. I was like, I don't want to see another bat, just in case.
Yeah.
I slept in Shalom's room for a good week. And I was like, you know what? Now I'm confident. I'm just going to go back into my room. I go back into my room.
They tested the bat, and
Yeah.
we went back and we found out that the bats did not have rabies.
No, they didn't have rabies.
Okay.
Those ones didn't have rabies.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, I think we'll be okay.
Right. Would that be okay? We'd be like, okay, good. So I moved back into my room. It was a good 3 days. I was able to stay in my room for 3 days. Then I went to the back porch that's connected to my room, right? I let out the dog, you know? I let out dogs. I let out both dogs outside. So we had a door that was like glass, right? Okay, and there's windows. I closed the door. I look in the reflection of the door, and I see the bat right behind me. It literally right behind me. I scream. I run outside because I didn't have a choice. I couldn't run back to my room.
Yeah, and then I heard like I was on the other side of your room, right?
You were on the other side of my room.
And then like I like opened your door, and then I was like, "What is going on?" And then the bat literally flew it right in front of me. Literally, if I did not shut it half a second, it would have went on my face. Because it literally I saw the fangs, and then it was like a movie. It was like, and then like I backed away because like the bathroom was like right across from your room. I backed away. I just turned to my mom, and I was like, "There's a bat in there." I said, "It's so chill."
So, long story short, I don't think we even spent one more night in that house. I think we moved that day.
Yeah,
No, we actually did. We did not.
We gathered all
Well, because we called pest control again. Because, again, it flew to the highest point, which was our room.
Yep.
And we saw, Mirthell, that it went behind, like, your sweaters. Remember how there was a shelf?
Yeah.
So when we called pest control, we said it's over there somewhere. And they never found it. Because they never found it, we were like, well, that's a wrap on this place.
That's a wrap.
We're done.
I just want you
I have
guys.
bats in my room every week.
I just want you guys to know that you guys can see this whole thing animated on our channel.
That's right.
Is it on our channel?
Yeah, it is.
Well,
That's true.
Well,
we should link it.
It's on our channel and the story booth. Story.
Yes, we worked with story
Book?
booth to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But guys, I mean, honestly, we moved out that day. And we never returned back to the house. I think I returned back with the
see some
movers
stuff,
to
yeah.
get the stuff.
Yeah.
It was the last day in that house.
I am really salty. You guys left that big TV. That held so much memories.
Oh, like those old chunky TVs.
That was so good.
So old fashioned.
But it was so huge. We watched Indiana on there, Gilligan's Island on there, the Olympics on there.
I saw Kate Middleton's wedding on there.
Yeah, it was one of those,
And the Olympics.
It was one of those large screen TVs, but they were the bulky ones,
Yeah.
not the flat screen.
Yeah, I remember watching that back in 2005. Like,
Yeah, that's an old TV.
It was an old
In fact,
TV.
we bought it in 99, I think.
Oh, snap.
I am so salty.
Because this is like 2013
We
or
were
14.
balling.
Yeah.
So we had that for like,
It was long.
that was
time.
that's a long time,
A
like
long time.
over
Every
10
move
years.
that we made, we brought that big old TV.
It was
with us.
hard.
Oh my goodness.
It was
Yeah.
hard.
And y'all gave up so fast, and I just left it. I took one more look at that TV. I was like, they really gonna leave you?
Excuse me, but we left the piano with one of our other moves, like our brown piano.
Who gives a care about the piano? We have a piano right downstairs
Shiloh,
right now.
what do you care about the TV? You have a theater now.
I
You have a
know.
theater.
Exactly.
It has so much memory.
Shiloh loves vintage stuff. That's the
That's
thing.
true. Shiloh does
Do we
like vintage
ever
stuff.
play on the piano? Do we ever do that?
You do.
Yes.
You do.
I did.
Because you're forced.
In
lessons.
lessons?
No, that was in the Florida house.
No,
Not on that
Even
one.
here.
But you.
No. Wait. No.
He's talking about that piano.
That piano.
Oh,
the
that
one
one.
It
No,
was too
that was
young.
just for looks.
Exactly.
You don't care about that piano.
Anyway.
The one downstairs.
Anyways.
But, speaking of the Florida house, I'm not going to tell the story today, but we have an interesting story about another critter in the Florida house. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
Lizards?
I thought you were gonna tell the story about the storm, but anyhow.
Wait,
we got lots of stories.
lizards?
guys.
Lots of stories, y'all.
Yeah.
We're here every day, guys.
So we just want to thank you for joining us on our show. This is the place where we like to share our opinions, share our viewpoints, and to tell the story, feed the soul, make you laugh, heal the heart.
What stories do you guys have about your house? What's something memorable that you guys have? Something interesting?
Have you ever seen a bat?
Have you guys ever seen a bat before?
In person.
In person.
Yeah. Because as Sinead's mom, I was terrified that thing bit her and then she would turn. Just kidding. No.
Or a snake. Have you guys ever seen a snake? We actually have some stories about snakes.
Also, if you listen to Kanye West's new album, what's your favorite song in Donda?
Yeah.
That's true.
Let us know, guys.
What's on your playlist?
What's on your
right.
playlist?
Yeah.
Take care. Bye. Thanks for watching.
Bye.